And hello, welcome to WoodenSpoonData. My name is Woody. You've probably seen me before. If not, welcome. We're going to sit down, watch the game, and see how it all goes. Let's get into it. So we've got the end of the Carlton GWS match at the moment, which is, that's been a fair blowout. A bit of a surprise for me. I didn't really expect to see these sort of numbers. But Carlton gets another one. And this is, they're going to double the score. So it's been pretty boring, to be honest. I left like halfway through. I'm excited for this game. We've got Sydney versus the Swans as a little kind of, I suppose, start the conversation. I think that the Swans might win this one. I've been doing a lot of maths, and I just like the look of the Suns going into this year. The only thing I don't like about the Suns is that they just don't seem to have much in terms of attacking. So that might be what undoes them, but we'll see. It's still a little bit to go though. We've got another 10 or so minutes. Looks like this game might be running late. I think it's mostly because there's been so many goals from Carlton. So, good game. I'm just watching the end of it now. We'll have a bit of a chat as it kind of actually comes to the end. The Giants get one back, which is good. Bedford getting a little bit getting himself on the board, which is nice to see. The Suns. What am I talking about? The Giants would have wanted more out of him last year, but it just didn't happen. So it's good to see him get on the board early. Hopefully he has an injury-free year. But this is a surprising result for me. I thought if anything, it'd be closer to the other way around. But Carlton has stood up today. GWS hasn't done enough. And that's just basically the story, isn't it? But pop your head in, say hello at any point. I might be doing some going over of the stats from all the stuff I've done this off season. There's still a big prediction video to come. But otherwise, we'll talk about that in about 50 seconds or so once this game wraps up. I've got the other computer over here to have a look over things at the same time. Let's see if I can share that to myself and get that up for you at some point, because I have got a cool new analysis. I won't show you all of it, but I will show you some of it. Particularly like two things, because they're kind of fun to look at. But let's kind of get the end of this game going. I'm going to get that link to myself. And I might even get some people on as we get later into the stream. Basically just get some people on, get their thoughts. So let's do that to myself first. I don't. Apologies for this, guys. I should have had a little bit more set up before we jumped on, but we will get that. The game's about to wrap up here. I think I'm a little bit behind you guys. As far as I remember, I think it's like 20, 30 seconds, something like that. But I'm not certain. Did that work? All right, looks like it did work. That's good. Now we will stop camera and stop that. Let's do 32. Ah, cool. So the main thing I want to do is present. So I was going to share a particular. Let me share the whole thing. So I'm going to just share what's going on in this other screen, and we will add that to the page. Oof, we're going a little bit in circles here. Apologies, guys. All right, there we go. So, yeah, I was going to show you guys this, which is essentially what we've got for the preseason prediction stuff. Now, these numbers that you see here, St Kilda, I think you might see, is up in third. And that isn't me, just so you know. I have no control over any of this stuff. So I'll show you how it all works really quickly. I basically just press down and enter, and all the numbers swap around. The reason it does that is because I'm simulating a ton of matches. So it basically just goes through 1,000,001 different simulations and shows some of them. There's other stuff as well that might interest you as well. The fixture side of things I can probably show you without crashing everything. So this is very similar. So that's all these scores there. They just like change. Essentially what's happening is I've got 10,000 simulations of the home team's attack versus the away team's defense divided by the overall games. And then I'm kind of I'm bringing it back from where it was at. So yeah, it's a little bit of a big project. Haven't quite got all the little bits and pieces done, unfortunately. But it's quite good. I like it. So I've got a bit of information out of that, a fair bit, which might help with some stuff. But yeah, it's going to be a while before that sort of stuff, I think, is as accurate as I'd like it to be, you know. So it will get there, but it just won't quite get there quickly. So we'll go through that at points, some other data stuff as well. But yeah, this will mostly be, I'll kind of watch along to see, your guys' thoughts, get your thoughts, have my thoughts, everybody's thoughts. No, sorry. I've also been getting cheekily into the berries. They're all right. Let me know if you tried one before. I jumped on the pineapple and limes. They're pretty good. They're pretty dang good. I'm enjoying myself, so I'm gonna keep getting them. But yeah, otherwise, you guys should let me know if you've tried one of them. The other flavor is good. I'm interested in the mango one. Maybe trying that. We'll see. We've got the Gold Coast Sydney pre-game show starting up. It's about to start, as far as I know. So get that going, and I'll let you know when I've bounced. And yeah, jump on in, say hello, all that jazz. Might get rid of this screen as well, just for now. We'll leave studio and save a little bit of power and all that sort of jazz. Say the word. All right, cool. So we might have a look at some of those simulation things a bit later. But for now, the game's about to start, at least for me. I think I'm about 20 or so behind you in terms of seconds. And yeah, I'll let you know when we get there. Sounds like the warning siren's gone. So we are about to get into it. Yeah, I got the Swans interestingly rated in a few different ways. In some ways, I don't think they're going to do very well, and in other ways, I do. So I think that might end up being a team that kind of just on the 8 or not. But I think fairly similarly of the Suns as well. So it'll be interesting. The bounce has gone. We've just gotten a clearance out. Apologies for that. And there's been a big mark right on 50. And Andrew's down. Jeez. Not what you want to see. Preseason matches. We just want people to get through safely and whatnot. What happened? Oh, I think it was his head to the ground. Not good. Yeah, right. Oh. I'm through for behind. Stature, lads, how are we? I'm doing well. Good to get the match started. I think this will be close, at least closer than the last match. That's the hope. Do you reckon we're in for a good one? What are your thoughts? Ooh, straight back out. Sydney's got good ball control so far. They've been next to no Suns. You got to throw in, so maybe we'll get a little bit of control going forward. We'll make sure not to have that in camera too much. But yeah, I'm doing well, lads. I'm doing well. You guys are in the chat. I'll get it up again. Give me a second. But if I join this, can I enter this on this? Okay. If you lads are in the thing, I'll show you something. Now mute that, and I'm going to show you the thing I've been doing at the moment, which has been taking up all my time. So I'm going to share entire screen. Suns are putting good pressure on. Now let's get me on screen. Let's get them on screen. Sorry about the things there, but yeah, we got this here, lads, which is an interesting one. I've kind of got a simulation system up and running, which just lets me kind of go through everything. Yeah, fair. I'm wondering if Patton actually gets a game. He's kind of one that I didn't rate particularly towards the end of his tenure at St Kilda. Supposedly he's done well in the pre-season over in Sydney, so hopefully he can revive his career over there. Ooh, straight in, Sydney gets another chance. Any last minute role changes and stuff, that stuff, yeah. I'm interested in terms of like real like left field picks, I suppose. Yeah, but I was interested in Garcia before he was no longer a left field pick, and now he seems to be everybody's pick, which I'm still going to pick him. But Swans kick online and they get the goal. Interesting. I didn't. I'd expect to see better from the Suns to start off. Their midfield are fairly evenly matched. Ruckman as well. And I would have thought this. To be honest, I don't rate the Swans' defense. So what's that on the sheet? A little hard to see. Fair. All right, let me pull it in. So this is. If I can zoom in there. This is like home and away scores that simulate, right? So they basically. It should change. It's not at the moment. But yeah, basically it simulates a bunch of different scores. It's struggling at the moment, streaming and doing it. But basically, I simulate 10,000 matches, or I simulate each match 10,000 times, and each team score 10,000 times against each other. There's a bit of math that goes into like their attack and defense ratings, and how that equates to actual scoring. Oh, I think he got that goal. He did. What an amazing goal. Yeah, apologies. And yeah, that's kind of where I go through every match through that. I then go and do the whole season 10,000 times. So that's got season's 1,000 times. I nearly broke my computer trying to do it 10,000 times. That's a mistake. But then it feeds into this thing, which gives every team a rating. Now, I'm going to get off that screen fairly quickly because I'm doing a whole video on that. But yeah, it basically breaks down percentiles of each team's chance of being in every position. If I go to here, which you can see, this should just jump around. Yeah, you see all the team names change, things like that. So do that, changes, do that, should change. Anyway, struggling. But yeah, that basically is just one of the 10,000 simulations that it pops up at random to show me every time I press a button. And it simulates the whole thing again every time I press a button. It's a bit overkill, to be honest. But it's good fun. It got me some good information out of it. Probably going to stop like kind of going into too much depth. I've got a whole video coming out on it, but yeah, it's sorry, I can't answer that question for you, brother. I'd say it's the one we living in, man. It's this thing, they love it. No, but yeah, it's a good little sheet. It's got me a fair bit of information out, and the last sort of assessment model I did a fair bit of information out as well. So I've pretty much collated all of that now, and I've got what essentially I think the ladder is going to be. I'm still going to do like my own like influence on it rather than stats, and just kind of go, look, I think X, Y, and Z is going to happen. A little thing, I suppose. No worries, sorry, anytime, brother. But yeah, I suppose I don't think the Dogs will do as well as my stats say. Obviously, Bont got injured today. They had a bunch of injuries. So yeah, to be honest, I already had them on edge at 8. I don't like Bevo as a coach. I might just be a hater. I don't know, but I just don't think he gets the best out of their team. I think he gets a fair bit out of their like kind of middle to lower players, but I don't think he does anything for his stars, really. I think he kind of just maybe doesn't really believe in that sort of stuff. But yeah, I don't love his sort of style. So I don't think bullies probably feature as high as the stats said they probably should. But who knows? Who knows? It's very early. Bont might be holding them back for a flag, I don't think that's the case. Oh, geez, come on, Suns. I've got you rated pretty much better than the Swans. This isn't going to help me. This isn't going to help my case. I thought you're pretty damn closely rated. I'd have to go through it, but yeah. Like my combined score from all the like the player reviews and team reviews in the off season. I did all of them. I just don't think I'm going to get the time to get it out. I'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it's I had Sydney like iffy on making it, but I had Suns the one like sliding in there, in at least in the combined score. In my overalls, I'm still like just my own personal opinion. I'm still tossing and turning a little bit, but I pretty much convinced myself that Suns were in there. So I don't know. Agree a bit the opposite. I think they shuffle around their fringe players, and it's hard for them to get consistency, especially on the back half. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, definitely think you're right there. I think the only reason I don't. Yeah, okay. I guess I wasn't really explaining myself great. I think the reason I don't love Bevo in terms of his coaching is that he gets a lot out of the fringe players, but when he puts his stars into like they get a bit out of the fringe, not all the time, but when he puts his stars into roles outside of like where they've been stars, he still kind of like expects the world of him. Like McRae is kind of the one where I was like, why isn't he getting more minutes? And then Richards started getting minutes in the midfield, and I was like, oh, okay, I can kind of see why. Like Richards is really good. But it is also one of those ones where it's like, all right, well, he's not really finding ways to get McRae into the game tons as a half forward, to the point in which he's going to go to St Kilda and probably be their walk-up starting midfielder. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think we're kind of saying the same thing. He moves the magnets a lot. He he doesn't quite. Yeah, he doesn't let people settle a lot, and when he moves people out of preferred positions, it's like he's like testing to see if somebody's better, and it's like, well, I'm not going to give that. I'm not just going to drop McRae. I'm gonna put him in half forward flank, and it's like, all right, but you're going to do that, like, why not Riley Sanders then? Like, why not? And it's one of those ones where I just don't love his coaching, and like maybe I'm just a hater. I think I am just a hater. We'll see. Maybe he gets another flag. I'm a Saints fan as well. Like, part of me is probably jealous that he got them a flag. Like, I think that's a thing. I think that's really a thing. So, yeah. Ooh. Is it Rafe Andrews? Is he playing today? Was it what's Mac Andrews' brother? Ray Andrews. Okay, I was spelling it wrong. Sydney's killing it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'd like to see him get some proper minutes. I mean, I also wouldn't, because he's probably really good. And Sydney do this all the time. There's some random kid that they pluck out of nowhere and they're really good. Like, kind of sick of it. That being said, St Kilda's had a few goodies over the last year, so I can't complain a ton. I wonder if this is the year that Joel Amati really like breaks out. It'd be nice to see him kind of do that. I've always been a fan of the Amati party, but yeah, it just never kind of clicked for a long time for him. I feel like it's been in spurts. So Ballard's off injured. That's kind of one of the last things I want. I mean, they've got. Well, is Mac back on? But yeah, I mean, they've got a couple of good tall defenders, but yeah, they don't need to lose Collins, Ballard, Mac Andrews, anything. Like, Dan Patton over at Sydney. St Kilda really need a small defender, and if he comes on like straight away and is good for them, I'm going to be pretty frustrated. Humphreys finally flies one forward. The weird thing about Sydney is if you look at their stats from last year, like literally not one of their like players is like up like better one-on-one defensively than like the average. I think Rampy is. I'll double check. Rampy was from memory, but like it's not a ton. It's really not a ton. So this thing is zoomed into all rubbery. Jeez. Yeah, okay. Jeez, what happened to Gordon? Oh. This might not be good. This might not be good. Oh, yikes. Look at that knee. Oh, no, it's ankle worse. Ankle's worse. Oh, that still not good. That's not good. That's real not good. Stats chat. Sorry, mate. I missed that last question. The model does have a variance for injury, like / missing players, but it's not built out to specifically cut players from the lineup. I am working on that model at the moment. I wanted to have that finished for like this video, but I just couldn't get it done in time. I was trying to do too much at once, man. Like it was silly. Yeah, twisted ankle, but yeah, it also looks like that, like ankles just shouldn't move that far, and like that is the wrong direction as well. So like that's like ligament damage, man. Like that's probably 12 weeks, unfortunately. Like if it's snapped, it's probably 12 weeks. Oh, jeez. Suns are playing dangerous. This isn't smart footy. Jeez, that was shocking decision making. So the Suns aren't really finding proper space. They're finding like collapsed space in a lot of senses. That's proper space. Getting a mark in the back. Oh man, smothered right off the boot. All right, so yeah, getting a mark in the back line, getting it to the center of the ground. You've got a lot of options from there, but they immediately got smothered. It's cut off in the pocket. Sydney snapped it, but it looks like it's out on the full. Jeez. Okay. Mac Andrew is past the concussion test, but he's got a chest injury. Yikes. That might have worked. Holy heck, that worked. Holy heck, that worked. This isn't great footy from the Suns. Tom McCartan forward beyond the preseason, not a chance. Not a chance. Sydney has a shocking defense. Like I've got them rated as badly as the Eagles, which maybe that speaks to my rating as not being great. And look, my math isn't. Well, that's right, but my methods aren't always perfect. So I just can't see it. Like they've got tons of forwards. Yeah, none of them are good, but like surely a Marty or McDonald come on properly. Like, they're both quite young. Yeah. You know what? That's something that I didn't know about footy. That what was his? I don't even remember his name now. Like, he's gone from the screen, but oh, silly from the Sun. Yeah. What's his name? Swallow. David Swallow. I didn't know he was still in the AFL. I don't watch a ton of Suns matches, but I know he didn't. Like, I knew he was still in the AFL, but I mean, vaguely. I kind of always think he's retired every time I see him, and then like I'll see stats, and like I'll be like, oh yeah, that's not a thing. Well, will he get it? He's got it. Yeah, he was a sub lot last year. I remembered that even from like doing the reviews. Like I know he's in their team. It's just every time I see him, I'm like, I swear he retired in like 10 years ago. I swear he hasn't played for like 10 years. But yeah, every time I see him playing, it's like, whoa, he can do it. Maybe I am thinking of Andrew Swallow. Maybe. Did they start? They must have started around the same time as Andrew and David must have like kind of like retired and started around the same time. It was probably years difference now that I think about it. Probably a fair few years. It was like 10 years ago. It's hard to remember sometimes. Sheldrick's just another one of them. Like, how do they keep pulling these like good players out of nowhere? Like, it's their academies, I get it, but like, the rules like late 20, retired a bit early. That's just like, yeah. I think I'm just getting him confused a bit, to be honest. That's stupid by the Suns. Like, 1-on-1 to what? That shouldn't have been a free against Ben Long. Yeah, they're bang on. So the commentators are right there. That player, I forget who it was. It's past too long now, but they essentially had somebody to their right running past to hand pass it to. They could have run another 20, 30 meters. There was like one person in front of them defensively. Just silly ball movement. And taking like a percentile kick like that. Because he goes for a 1-on-1. Yeah, not bad. Inside 50, positionally good. All right type of kick for a long kick. But long kicks in general, and I've said it a few times, they're retained less than 50% of the time they kicked. And long kicks being over 40 meters. So, I mean, it's effectively a dumb decision when you can gain 30 meters of the 55 that you kicked before deciding to do something better. It's just silly. How many smothers have Sydney done? So that's the second I've seen. There's probably one or two that I'm. But again, a very bad forward ball movement. Sydney's one that I don't like. If they didn't have a good midfield, they just wouldn't be competitive. It kind of really does speak to how important the midfield is. Okay, so they're going very, very wide down the wing, and Marty couldn't hold on to it. What the heck was that? Okay, I need to ask you guys, Cyrek, if you're in there, you specifically. Did anybody else hear those beeps, or was that just me? Like, was somebody swearing in the background and they're like beeping it? What happened there? It might have just been me. Like, these things are pretty old, but like, I don't know. Yeah, Mac Andrews hurt. Let's see if I can do it. We've got active track lads. So tomorrow we're back on. It'll be the Saints match. I always forget which way it is. We're going to watch the Saints. I would go and see them, but the two people I was going to go with, fair. Yeah, if you're getting the beeps without the thing going, sorry, we can have a chat about that. That's all right. But yeah, I'm gonna be back tomorrow for the Saints match. Oh, Anderson with the long shot. He gets it. Good on him. Yeah, the voice is in my head. Well, maybe we'll talk telepathically someday. But yeah, no, it's one of those things. I'm back for the Saints tomorrow, so I've got active track on this camera, right? Whoa. So tomorrow, you're gonna see not my best behavior. Like, it's just not going to be. Like, I'm hoping St Kilda win by a fair bit, but they might not, you know. So we might be in for a treat. I might have to go back and well, I've deleted the last few lives anyway. They haven't looked very good. In fact, I should double check if this thing actually looks the way I want it to. But yeah, it's kind of it'll be a new one. I think last time I watched the Saints game, I was on like a real tiny. I watched back the VOD, and I was like, "Oh man, that thing's small. I can't believe anybody's like looking at me." So yeah, I think we got what we want. I think that's generally what we want. Okay. Well, we've got a Marty lining up. He's about what? Probably going to kick from 50. Was it directly out of the guts from Sydney? Can he get it? Realistically, the accuracy, which that looked pretty bad from the boat. I think this is still game on. I don't think the Suns are particularly like out of this. I don't think Sydney is. I don't think, to be honest. I've said that though. What else was the other thing I wanted to talk about tonight? Oh yeah, I'll do that at quarter time. But yeah, I'm not. I'll just do it now. I'm pretty much there. I don't think I'm gonna have time to do the top 8. At least not by the season start. So with that, I'm doing the prediction video first. Gold Coast got another shot off. This is getting closer. Getting closer. It's good to see Weller out there as well. They paid a lot for him, so they got to start getting something back from him. It's been too much investment otherwise. But yeah, basically, I'm not sure I can do the top 8 in time for the season. I'm almost certain I can't with editing. But yeah, the prediction stuff can be done in time. So that's kind of taken priority now. I do also have to give like a big thank you to Pom and stuff as well. He jumped on to do a video with me for Carlton, or at least Carlton segment in the top 8, and yeah, we're just gonna have to cut it essentially. So still a big thank you to him in the video and everybody else that jumped into. Yeah, pick 2 for him was absurd. The Suns management has been shocking for years, since inception. Which, yeah, I mean, like maybe they've sorted it out, but like honest, I really do wonder about this Hardwick appointment. It doesn't feel, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It just doesn't feel like he's in it for the long haul or really heart in it that much. Maybe I'm reading the room wrong, being a Victorian and, you know, pretty far away from it all. But yeah, it just feels like an odd move. Suns have done some pretty, like a few shockers in terms of list management though. Like there's a few like that. I used to have a whole list of this stuff before I was making videos. I was like, look at all the things the Suns did on. Let's go back at their trades in this this period. No, not the Phoenix Suns. Right. Oh, that's not something I can scroll through. I mean, Zero Hanger's got a whole bloody article about it. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that will have half of them. What have we got? Gold Coast receive future second round pick, future 4th round pick. Fremantle receive Wilt Brody, pick 19, pick 61 and 69. Yeah, that's ridiculous. All right, we're gonna look at this in the off time. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The only thing I think maybe it does is like stealing Richmond's, or what is left of Richmond's identity at a time. Maybe like that's the only thing they can do. Like maybe they really do have to build from that sort of level of the floor. But who knows, really, man? Like I do agree though. It's just something a little odd. Like he doesn't feel like he's fully hard in it for me. Like walking in there and saying we've got 80% of a list. I mean, for me, it's very like theatery. Like it's like you're saying that for the people in front of you, like the people that are going to watch. Like, there's got to be some part of you that doesn't believe that, because like the Suns aren't bad, but like 50+% of the like first premiership team, I don't know about that. I'm not certain. Yeah, Sydney get another shot off and another point. 4-5-29 to 3-1-19. You know what I'll do, actually? Let's do this stuff. All right, so we're going to set things up because I forgot to do this as well. Apologies. This is like still. I'm trying like so many different ways to stream at the moment because I don't know. There's something wrong with StreamYard. No, not StreamYard. There's something wrong with OBS. I can't figure it out. So yeah, I'm using StreamYard at the moment, which a bit different, a little bit different. It's all right. It's all right. It's a little bit different. So we've got the score down there now. I thought that would be something I should probably put down. Right. Yeah, let's have a look at let's do a little present the screen and go to this. All right. So we're gonna have a look at this. Some of the Suns trades. This is from like 2012 or something. This article. It might have been a questionable trade or two since, but we'll just see. Yeah, the future second and future fourth for Will Brodie, pick 19, pick 21, and pick 69. See, the thing that I don't get about this is like for that to make some sort of like sense, Will Brodie'd have to kind of be worth like it doesn't make sense. Like they'd have to say Will Brodie's worth like nothing. And like he's not worth nothing. Like he's not the best. Don't get me wrong, but he's not like shocking, you know. Anyway, yeah. Let's move on to the next one. See what others we got. So what other questionable trades? So 2020, we have a trade with Geelong. Future third round pick for pick 27. Geelong got Shannon Neal. Yeah, okay, that's again a bad decision. All right, let's move on to the next one. Maybe they get less worse, you know. Another trade with Geelong. Pick 27 for a future first round and pick 64. Have we ever looked into has anybody ever looked into how the Suns and Geelong are related? Like ever since they got Gaz, right? Like why would you do these trades? Like why would you give Bowies away with like a first? Like I understand. Like you've got a shocking cap, supposedly. How do you get your cap that bad? Like, you know, how do you do things this badly? Like does nobody play footy in Queensland? And it's just like that was just the problem. Like, we don't have anybody that knows what they're doing. Because like some of those trades are just shocking. Now, let's go to the next one. Because that's not great, but it could be worse. I think they got a pretty reasonable pick back there. Lucky Weller, pick 2, Brandon Matera. I forgot Brandon Matera played for Gold Coast. Yeah, that was really bad. Yeah, Gold Coast are shocking. Like in terms of decision making, they're not great at it. Like, yeah, honestly, like there's a deep dive in there. Like those ESPN 30 for 30s, something like that. Like they've been shocking for 10 years to the point in which like most clubs would have folded by now. Like 100% most clubs would have folded. Most clubs in Queensland have folded. Like most clubs in Gold Coast that have been there have folded anyway. Like the A-League had its side that was there. They folded. There was like the Titans, I think. In like the NRL or the NBA. Oh no, the Titans might be keep going. It's hard to remember. I know they've had a few sides that have folded. I'd have to look it up, but we're getting back into the first quarter. Mac Andrew gone. Yeah, NBL teams tried a few. Oh, Toby, you're over there, bud. Jordan doesn't look good. That ankle, I thought it was going to be his knee at first, but that's... Yeah. couple weeks to a couple months. That's not great. Gold Coast is a graveyard for sport, man. Like, to be fair, like if you could just chill on the beach, get a tan, all that sort of jazz all the time, like I probably wouldn't be playing like a ton of sport, you know? Oh, we're getting into it now. Second quarter. Toby, how you doing? Yeah, we'll go say hello to Toby. Let's clear that for a second. Hello, Toby. Hello, brother. Hello. 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 Yes. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. Very good boy. All right. Let's get back to the footy. All right. About to start this second quarter. Can the Suns kind of drag it back a bit? Like 9 scoring shots to 4. It's not great. But they're only 10 points down. You know? Good. And the ball is bounced. Because I know some of you are, well, I know you're probably watching it at a different time to me. But I'm hopefully not far behind you. Let me make 15 seconds. Gold Coast has managed to not lose it. Yikes. Yikes. That was just... Ballard's back down into the rooms. That's not good. Looks like Ballard's going to be going to... Oh, he's taking off his wrist tape. I don't think you take off your wrist tape if you're still playing. At least not if you're getting back on quick. He might be done. Weller's got it. He's going to take a shot. Oh, well, I don't. Come on. If you can make it, take the shot. Isn't Weller paid like $1 million a year as well? Jesus. Yeah, I could have told them that was a bad idea. I remember when I was, I don't know, probably it would have been like 2017, 18, around that area. So probably about 2017. I was like working just off Chapel Street in Victoria, in Melbourne. And I was working in a bar. I was out front and I was having a break talking with the bouncer. And Mav Weller and a few of the Saints boys went past. God dang, they were so drunk. There was Mav Weller, there was Shane Savage, there was Jack Loney. No, there wasn't Jack Loney. It was one of the young boys. I saw Blakers because I got Mav Weller, right? Walks past me, walking past to go to the Emerson. I saw him go straight in after this. And he goes, woo! Straight in my face. Gives me an old Ric Flair sort of woo. And like just keeps walking. I was like, what in the fuck? And then Akers walks past like a couple steps behind and he goes, sorry, man. And like just keeps walking. I was like, no worries, Akers. And I think like he just like, yeah, I don't think he expected me to know who he was. He was like 19 at the time. So this was like, he was young. I know he'd been at St Kilda for like 2 years. So he was pretty young. But yeah, God dang. That was a funny night. They tried to come past when Emerson closed. I mean, like I was just sitting there close. Like doing some calculations and shit. Like, yeah, basically like, yeah, they knocked on the door. They're like, are you guys open? I was like, clearly not, man. Like, for one, I've had to unlock the door. And two, there's no one here. All the lights are on. And he's like, yeah, just checking. And they just kept walking. But yeah, Mav was like, yeah, Mav was pretty shaky. I met him a couple times. He was nice, very nice dude. But his good games were few and far between. So the Swans get there first. I got a fair few like footy player stories, to be honest. Working up and down Chapel Street as like a bar manager and like DJ as well. I did that for quite some time. Yeah, you see a fair bit. In fact, there is one thing that I've probably mentioned before, and like I don't think there's nobody major watching this, but yeah, I was DJing the Hawthorn three-peat. Like, I don't know, whenever the three-peat happens, and yeah, that was a eventful night. There's a few things that probably were pretty lucky not to make the paper. But yeah, very, very funny night that night. Very funny. I got a photo somewhere with me and like the two cups, like the three cups. I've got like two hands, like, trying to hold on to three cups. Difficult. Those things weigh a ton, like an absolute ton. But yeah, it was weird. I remember like not wanting to grab it. It was like, what if I never get to hold St Kilda's cup, which I probably won't. Like, thinking about it. Like even if St Kilda win a flag, I'm unlikely to be the one that they're like, here, bro, hold it. So like, I don't think that's going to me. Like it to, but I don't think it is. Mm. How old are you, Rick? best, best and worst DJ request. I play. Oh, you're 30. All right, we're about the same. I was a little bit worried you were a bit younger than me, but I guess like I also look pretty young. But yeah, like we had we had Peking Duck one night, like come through absolutely fast. They were pretty funny. Who else? Worst requests though. I don't know. Like I didn't take requests to be honest. Like I did one gig ever where I took requests, and it was the worst. I refused after that. I played at Tramp in the city for some like 21st. And, this is the worst one for sure. This is the worst one. So like there was I think it was like Roses by like Chain Smokers. I think that was I don't know if Chain Smoker I don't know if it was Chain Smokers. But I was a hip hop DJ at the time, right? Like pretty exclusively hip hop. And yeah, basically this chick comes up to me at her 21st birthday at Tramp and is like, "Hey, can you play Roses?" And I was like, "Odd request, but all right." Like so I'm thinking, let's get some Outcast going. Fuck yeah, why not? And she's like, she comes back up like I don't know, 20 minutes after I played Outcast, like, "Are you gonna play Roses?" I was like, "I did." What do you mean? Like, and then I realized what was going on. And there was like there's a couple of issues like that. The last song where she asked for was Beautiful Soul by Jesse McCartney. And I was like, right, I'm just gonna I have my iPhone with me, like thankfully I had like a cord. Because like most of the time you're not carrying a cord, but because it was a birthday, I was like, probably should just in case. So I at that point I just gave up. I was like, fuck it. Like I was like, I've been told like the complete wrong thing. Like I thought you guys were into hip hop. You're not. So could you write down a bunch of songs that you fucking like, and I'll try and make it work. That was so shit, bro. So shit. Yeah. So that was like the last time I took requests, and then a mate of mine, Adam Trace. He's a great DJ. If you ever go out, I think he plays in Perth occasionally, actually. Adam Trace and Anyo both play in Melbourne a lot and around Australia. But yeah, basically, those guys have a like recording. They started handing out, and it just says no requests, none. Like anytime they started doing it, it's now just a thing. But anytime like somebody starts like coming up with like a phone or something like that, or like whatever, just load up like the no request thing, and you go no requests, none. It's great. It works fucking amazingly, and if you've got a crowd there, they love it. Like I've never quite had like a crowd just go off as much to like kind of dissing somebody. It's fun. It's good fun. Sun's finally lining up again. I've kicked a few behinds here, so like, hopefully revert to me and kick a goal at this point. Oh, we got it. Just. Damn close he came out of nowhere. Such a good player. To be fair, if the Suns can steal the Cats' skills at just finding players from nowhere that are 100% AFL quality, that'll be a good team. They'll get some culture. To get away. You should probably do the whole sharing things. Toby, that's me, buddy. That was me. He falls asleep and hears things, and he thinks I'm leaving him. he's a COVID dog, man. Toby, give me. What's up? All right, I'm gonna give Toby that. Tell me now. Yeah, he's a good boy. He's a very good boy. See if you try to get the clearance, but it doesn't do much. All right. And McCartan gets the mark on the lead inside 50. They're talking about how it's going to take a while for Tom McCartan to, get it to work. He is like not going to get it to work. like maybe I'm wrong, but like I just can't see it. I used to sit at Kingston Charles. Nice. Yeah. They just constantly nap, man. Like he doesn't like really stop, to be honest. The only time he like goes nuts is when there's other dogs around, and then he's just running around until he's out of energy. And even then, like it's either like collapse out of energy or like we just leave. He doesn't have to do as much, and he lies down, and that's that. Like he's done at that point. Gotcha. He gives me those like little evil eyes, like he's looking up at me like, what? He's a cutie. He's a cutie. But he knows it, and he just wants to abuse my love of him. But yeah, brother, sorry, have you tried one of these berries? They are pretty dope, man. Like, I'm not just getting into like it's a little bit of the footy, footy time. We're drinking a footy drink. Berries are nice sort of footy drink, but yeah, I haven't tried the pineapple limes before. They've got a little bit of that, not 100%. But when I first smelt it, it smelt like those lollies, like those pineapple lime lollies. And It doesn't quite taste like it. It's not. It hasn't got that like kind of super syrupy sort of flavor. Like I can punish a 4 of these pretty easily, I reckon. But yeah, worth a shot. Worth a shot, man. It's a bit cheaper than the other ones tonight as well, which is nice. So, well, it's footy time. Barry. What's better than footy with Barry? They should get me on their team. I'm just saying. Just saying. I got 1,000,001 of these. I could write 1,000,001 things about Barry. This is the only problem about watching like mainstream television and whatnot. They play like really terrible music that like I swear it's been the same music for like I don't know since I was a kid. Like that song's been out for like since I was a kid. Oof. Can the Suns get it back? All right, we're gonna try and stay football focused here, but yeah, they play some pretty shocking tunes sometimes. Yeah, cool. These ones, they're like Soshu, vodka, and soda. They're like what 5%? I think they're 1.5 standards. That's generally 5.6. That makes sense. So like they're what? They're one of those RDs things, like premix style, but yeah, they're good. They're good. Also, I'm all for supporting things that aren't like the major conglomerate these days. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but Asahi owns all alcohol in Australia, like almost all alcohol in Australia. They own Little Creatures, they own everything. So if you can find like products that you know are made by people that you don't mind, I'm for that these days. You know, I don't want to give more money to like giant corporations. They already take too much of my money. So Barry, it's made by a bunch of footy players. You know, it's made by Basilenka, made by the Dacos boys and Charlie Kermo. So look, they've probably got enough money, but I'll give them my support. Why not? Yeah, there's a bit of tussle on the ground there. Yeah, they got scuffling. They got scuffling. There's a scuffle. There's a tussle. I haven't kept up to date on the score. I should do that. Hang on. Sorry. Let's just fix this. 28. It's 4-4. All right. So this is why I actually got to pay attention again. Have one drink of alcohol and the sun, man. Oh, over the shop. Just chatting with my mate Rick. Paying no attention, not a care in the world. There we go. We got the score fixed. Oh yeah, the Eagles one. Yeah, they've got one that I didn't get to try, but St Kilda did a similar thing because I'm a bit of a gin drinker myself. It was from a place that's actually not far from my mother's. My mum lives out in the country, and there's a distillery out not too far in. Mum's not far from like Shepparton, and there's a distillery not too far from there that, yeah, made like a Saints 150-year anniversary gin. So I got that. That was really nice. Like for what could have been a gimmick gin. Pretty good. What's your gin of choice? I'm to be honest, I'll never do it. I'll never drink slow gin. You couldn't get me. But likewise with pink gin, I'm not really a thing. But yeah, there's a few things that are quite nice. I'll always go for Oh, geez, what's it called? I've gone there a million times. Hillsville. Four Pillars. Always go for Four Pillars. They're great. Melbourne Ginkgo is not bad as well. But they're a bit spinny. I live in the hills, so this, mate. I'm jealous. That's good stuff. See, the one benefit of my mum's place is at the end of her street is a winery. It's literally there's distance in houses is a little bit longer, but it's like 3 houses down and there's a winery, and that helps me when I go up there. That's for sure. So yeah, I get the vibes, but I kind of wish it was a distillery, bro. It'd be nice. I've gone to Hillsville a couple of times, and gone to the Four Pillars one there. I've also gone to Aylesford has a distillery that does a really nice vodka. Like they're not a vodka distillery, but it is the smoothest vodka that they do just general neutral grains in infusion style stuff. But yeah, god damn. They're straight vodka, but real nice. It's one of the first drinkables I've had in a while. What was that? That feels like that shouldn't have been like a legal movement. There's another injury to the Suns. This isn't good. There's too many injuries, man. Like these preseasons. Like they're starting earlier. The season goes longer. If anything, they've got to push the season back a little bit. Like, I understand it's that one day in September and all that, but I think if we want a longer season, which we're gonna have to, with more teams joining, we can't have off weeks for a team every week. So we're gonna have another team join after that, and then it becomes a situation of like how do we deal with this? So for me, it probably moves to 25 games. And if it moves to 25 games, you can't start the season in bloody. What are we now? It's still February. Footy's playing in February now. Like when I was young, like footy didn't really play. Like maybe like they had longer preseasons, I guess, but like those games were really nothing games. Whereas like this is like the last one. Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love it. Is this a slide for the gym? Hang on. Let me just double check if I caught up. Yeah, I think that's pretty much has to be it. Hey, like I think you pretty much have to go to that sort of 24 minimum matches. Like I don't think. Oh no, it has to be 20. Yeah. I could do the math, but I don't need a calculator. Hang on. I think it's 23. I think I'm wrong. I think it's 23. No, we already have 23. It go to 24 matches. Go to 24 matches. Wait, one drink and I can't think. Man. Also, I've been staying up so late doing that goddamn math stuff. It was like 2 a.m. last night, and low key finished 4 billion simulations. That's silly. That's silly. It's also why I couldn't do 10,000 simulations of my 10,000 simulations. Because that's where the numbers started getting into letters. That's when numbers become letters, too big. Too big. So, question I wanted to ask. That slide you were talking about, was that on the distilleries or like the kind of length of season and injury kind of issues? I'm guessing like length of season, injury sort of things, but double check. We're getting to the half time. Get another one of these for half time. And the Suns actually get a goal. And they do. Snaps around the corner. Back down to 2 goals. We've got a 5-6. 36 to the Sydney Swans. 7-6. 48. We can do a little change here. I've been behind on my points as well. That's at the ground. I wanna get away. God dang. I am I'm glad that we are past that time of music. Or that I'm more actually just glad that I don't have to listen to Triple M anymore. To be honest. That's kind of it. Yeah. I had a quick look into it, but I didn't put any numbers together. I couldn't really compare it, to be honest. Probably something I should have taken about. Like, I probably should just write a quick video, throwing together like some really dodgy data. Just said, this is the numbers. Wait till somebody corrects me. But yeah, it was too hard. It's too hard to throw it together too quickly. I used to like jump aboard the hype train of like why injuries and all the preseason is too short or too long. Like these things, like we give it another week, it'll be too long. So part of me has to remember I can't listen to Kane Corns too much. Like I love the dude, and I think he actually has some good like points a lot of the time. But God, he waffles. Like he needs to fill those hours. Like I mean, I guess I'm kind of doing it similarly, but I feel like I try not to be too opinionated. One day that'll all fly out the window, bro. Like, one day I'll just be like, this is how it is, man. Because I've been making videos about it. We'll say. Actually, I'm never kind of that conceited or anything, but hey, if somebody wants to give me like another 10,000 followers or something, that'd bloody help. Yeah, 10,000 views every day. That'd start getting me to making this a proper job. I could start doing this, which would be nice. It'd be a win. Kane Corns and King is a bit iffy combo from from the bits I've listened to. Yeah, I tend to agree. Like they together, I don't like my favorite combo of analysts. Well, my two favorite analysts in terms of like looking at data significantly, trying to turn it into actual information. Is generally Daniel Hoyne, obviously. I think everybody should have him pretty highly rated. And then, honestly, I love Joey. And I hate that I say as a Saints fan, but he just seems really level-headed. Like, Lee Montagna does not really go out for those wild calls. He does make, calls that maybe just isn't the straight decision-making of the general footy populace, but he's generally pretty backed up with what he says. He's not trying to shock when he says stuff. It's too negative, at least with Kane on the panels. He has some riffing and brings up. Yeah, I kind of agree. He's a little bit. He tries to get the headline. Like he's mentioned it in some of his interviews when he talks about like his role as a journalist. And I think he takes it on the chin because like he knows he's being a shock jockey. But at the same time, like I respect somebody that, for one, tries to be a shock jockey and tries to be right. That's something I don't mind. Like for me, I'd rather somebody say something that kind of shocks me that I wouldn't think straight away if they've got some reasonable points to back it up. Like, cool. All right. maybe I can take some of that on. Maybe I won't agree with all of it, but like the fact that I've been presented new information that, challenges what I believe, expands my horizons. That's something I want out of my time listening to things. So doing things, watching things, that sort of stuff. So I don't mind Kane for that. I think he's like a reasonable journalist in some regards. He is a little bit of a shock jockey, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I'll take those little bits of shock jockey moments to kind of get the little nuggets that come with it as well. He's not too bad. At least, yeah, I'm a bit on the outside with that one. I know that, but I don't mind him. I don't mind him. It's been an okay contest so far. Sitting 7-7 to 4-9, 7-7 49 to 5-6 36. 45 seconds left in the second quarter. It's going into the forward line for the Suns. They might get one more chance. But it kind of has. It's definitely not been the result that they want. Terrible shot. I don't know if he was even taking a shot there. That was terrible. But Blakey's just going to ride this out. And that'll be that. All right. Yeah, I didn't think Sydney'd be like holding them off so significantly. Just doesn't feel like the Suns have won like any midfield contests really. Yeah, it is still preseason. That's one of those ones. Like, how much can you read into certain things? Oh, Witt's got hit straight in his face right as the siren went. Right, I'm gonna grab another Barry. I'll be 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna put you on for this thing. Give me a sec. I'm still learning a lot of stuff as well. So let me see if I can do. All right, we're back. Whoa, it followed me out. Followed me out of the room. Apologies, guys. Let's just move that back this way. There you go. That's what happens when you forget that active track's on. There we go. A little bit better. A little bit. All right. Let's do it. Yeah, we tried our best. Whatever. All right. Well, now that it's half time, I think it's probably worth either going through some of those stats, playing a game, something like that. That was a nice sound. That was a good crack. All right. So I think we do a little stats look over first of this game. Double check what's going on here, and then move on from there. So we've got halftime Suns versus Sydney, 49 to 36. Sydney leads, and let's have a look at some of the player stats. So in terms of the disposals, Noah Anderson's leading. Matt Rao is just behind on 18. Lockie Weller not far behind on 16. To round it out for the Suns top five, we've got Rioli on 13, joined by Joel Jeffrey interesting little Joel Jeffrey there. I think he's one that I might look at, or am I getting him confused? I am getting him confused with Ben Jepson, who has got the 1 disposal, not looking like as much of a pick as I was hoping he would. In terms of the Sydney Swans, we've got Matt Roberts with 14 disposals, James Jordan with 13, Aaron Francis with 13, James Rowbottom with 12, and Jake Lloyd and Nick Blakey rounding out the top 5 at 12 as well. It's interesting. Anyway, sorry, dog came in. Yeah, it's interesting. I wouldn't have expected to see such a variety there. Most of the top, 10 or so disposal getters are the Suns players, but maybe we need to look at disposal efficiency. I might even share this screen so that we can have a little bit of a chat about it at the same time. So let's share that screen and get into it. So let's have a look at advanced disposal efficiencies. So Ben Jepson with his 1 disposal was on target. That's a positive. And then we've got some pretty reasonable work here from Matt Roberts, who actually got some disposals there. Likewise with James Jordan. Joel Jeffrey's got a bit for the Suns, but then the next best looked to be the Sydney players that were generally just up there for the basics. So Swans disposals, we've got, James Jordan, Matt Roberts, James Rowbottom, and that is fairly similar to the disposal efficiency. Matt Roberts, James Jordan, Rowbottom, Will Hayward, Blakey. So I think essentially the Swans are just using it better. I mean, I don't love disposal efficiency to kind of determine what's going on much, but it's fairly obvious watching the game as well. In some regards, it's hard to watch. I really expected better from the Suns, which I would have thought would have put more pressure on the Swans to achieve better as well. And look, the Swans are doing good, but it's not quite the match I was hoping to see at this point. It's been an interesting little game so far. Otherwise, let's have a quick little look at score involvements. Noah Anderson leads the way. Jared Witts and Ben Ainsworth as well. In terms of the Swans, we've got Peter Adams. Not what I expected. Jake Lloyd and Braden Campbell. Angus Sheldrick's an interesting one. If you're looking at pickups for the fantasy world, he looks to be a good one. Seems like he's going to get time. I mean, especially if Goulden is down. He looks, a syndesmosis is probably a month. It's just... Yeah, that'd be syndesmosis, ligament tear. All right. So if we're looking at the ligament tear, recovery time, 6 weeks to several months is what Google says. Yikes. Well, yeah, I guess it's one of those things that might be. That might have a few. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it could good score involvements are hard to track, to be honest. We, me and Dylan Alexander had a bit of a chat about that in the off season. And he did some good work on the rucks. Some of it which he covered in that video. Can't remember the name of the video, but he covered some of that chat in the video. It was he noted something about the rucks that was alternate to my thinking at the time, in kind of relevance and and whatnot. But yeah, he brought up some of this stuff in the video, and for the life of me, I can't remember what he said. So I'm gonna have to just move on. Yeah, this is much sadder pre-season. Essendon and Geelong with peak happy. Yeah, I think St Kilda might be peak happy tomorrow. I've just got a little feeling. It's got to be fun. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I would be getting down there. I mean, there's like one or two people in the chat. I don't think Port's doing very well this year, man. And as I think you're a Port fan as well, aren't you, Rick? Dang. Sorry, mate. Jeez. Sorry, brother. It's just I don't love the idea of getting rid of your coach before the season starts. Like, you either do it at the end of the season or you do it mid-year where it's all going wrong. And it's just the only issue I have with it. But realistically, the players aren't bad. I mean, in terms of ratings, they're pretty high. From memory, where were they? Not. Rating not as high as I remember. Or was it in the other system that I rated? I don't remember which one's which. There's too many bloody prediction models going on at the moment. Yeah, okay. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, right? I'll tell you the prediction. I've got Port. I'll show you it. Share screen. It's going to jump into something. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So it might take a second to load, but that is it. I don't know if you can see those numbers. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. Now, I've got a bunch of the numbers there for like my prediction model that will be coming in like a week or so. But you can see I don't have a great expectation of Port finishing in the top 8. After 8th, it starts like dramatically falling, and there is higher numbers lower than 8. I have St Kilda fairly similarly, so you're not alone there, mate. Oops, there you go. But yeah, it is one of those ones where it's not looking like it's gonna be our years, bro. Could be wrong. We never know with footy, but it would just surprise me, is all. I'll remember that from stage, but yeah, it's basically. Yeah. I look. She's preaching to the choir, man. St Kilda did all right in the defensive side of simulations, but offense is just non-existent. And yeah, I mean, when you look at like the changes between years, which is what the next model will be completely updated to. Yeah, I mean, and like injuries, things like that. It will be probably a bit better in this. It would probably be fairly different numbers. But for now, that is a reasonable expectation should there be no changes, no injuries, that sort of thing. So I think it gives a good launching point. I've got their general, like Port's general range somewhere in the realms of 15th at 3% to 3rd at 1%. It's actually fairly similar to St Kilda in some regards. St Kilda at 11% at 15th finish, and then they had a 1% chance at a 5th finish. Which essentially just means like when you're sitting at 1% and lower, you're looking at like less than 100 simulations out of the millions. That is Yeah, it'll be done for 6 weeks. Dang. Yeah, essentially like less than 100 out of your 100,000 simulations went the way you want. I think that's the right numbers. I've got to double check my numbers. It's been a lot. Like I've been stuffing this stuff through. Yeah, pretty bang on with St Kilda, man. Like it's one of those ones where okay at running the ball out of defence. We don't get the ball from our centre, and then we don't do enough with it. In a lot of regards, when we kind of intercept from opposition defence. Love our boys, but it'll take a big mentality shift to kind of get what we want, and I think it's happening to a degree. Like Saints have finally decided, hey, like we can't just keep doing the same shit. Which, I mean, St Kilda fans might disagree with me in some regards, but I think we've been very, very samesies for a while now, and particularly in our midfield, particularly in like forward efforts and backline efforts, it's all been the same. Which not bad when you're one of the better defensive sides. When you still need to work on the offense and fix your midfield in a lot of regards, it's not what you need. So it's frustrating. It is frustrating. I think there's a change happening though. A lot of St Kilda's issues are like centre and forward of the ball. Hugo Garcia looks like a player. He just looks like a good one. Cheers, mate. Have a good one, Rick. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon, and yeah, definitely we should do another chat sometime. I'll be watching your next video. I think your last video I've still got to catch up on anyway. But yeah, we'll catch up. We'll talk soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Eve. But yeah, as a general, St Kilda, I think they're getting there. Hugo Garcia looks like a player per minute. His numbers are absurd. Let's see if I can pull them up for you, actually. But per minute, stop sharing. We're going to share this instead. Share screen. Share screen. So, yeah. See if I can get to where I want to. So we got this. This is the per minute equations. That's right. So if I do per minute equations here, we've got St Kilda, which I'm going to zoom in. Nice. No, I can't. All right. Well, you're going to have to take my word for it. But Hugo Garcia is 23 there. The only people above Hugo in per minute numbers was Mason Wood and Jack Higgins. Mason at 26 stats above the average player per minute. Jack Higgins was at 24, which bodes great for Garcia. And when you look at him as a midfielder, he is slightly below the output per minute that we'd like to see from superstars. Mateus per minute was looking much better second half of the year. He was among the best that we had. Hunter Clark and Jack Steele are interesting ones. Same with Paddy Dow. Per minute, they're all right. I feel like they represent what I don't do well in this thing. So I'm going to fix a lot of these numbers come next year's assessments. They're going to be quite different based on early assessments. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's looking like it's going to be quite the change. And yeah, I think you guys will be interested. I'm also looking into a few different ways to interpret data, which is essentially just ways to view it. Things that you might be interested. You guys have all seen these charts, I'm sure, if they haven't been edited by my editor. Yeah, okay. So they're all still up there with just general player stats. That's Carlton 25. I could bring up somebody, I'm sure. There's Port Adelaide. And yeah, we get some interesting stuff, but not the easiest to interpret, which kind of leads me to other ways of doing things. I won't quite go over them now, just because I'd like to keep it a surprise. I'd like to keep some things a surprise. I like to give away some things in these little lives, and then keep a couple things up my sleeve. Not like I'm ruining it for tons of people, but if somebody's watching this, they're probably one of the people that likes us the most. So I don't want to give everything away, but yeah, it's coming along. The top 8, I'm probably going to do lives throughout like the first round and stuff, to like go over this, have questions done, that sort of thing. And then yeah, we're gonna have a prediction video instead of a top 8. Is another thing I needed to mention for anybody watching. The top 8 was a very long script. It wasn't 100% done even by the time we started filming. We filmed Carlton in its entirety. We filmed like 3 teams in their entirety. And then like we had like the other half of the top 8 to go, and it was too much. If we were going to get all the editing done, a prediction done, all that done before first match next Wednesday, it just wasn't going to happen. So yeah, essentially we've got the main teams done because obviously the teams outside the 8 have more to reach for in terms of improvements and getting back to being a top 8 and contending side. But yeah, time-wise, just couldn't organise it. It's too hard. Yeah, just a little bit difficult. I'm going to be doing a no edit. Going to add a little link later to chat. So if you do have any sort of like camera, as long as I can hear you, feel free to jump on. The third quarter is about to bounce. Pull it up, get it ready, pull up a queue. It's bounced. Let's get to it. I do need to do something. How do I do that? All right. Jeez. Into the forward line for the Suns. Oh, over the edge for Brandy throwing. Of course. One thing I am gonna do very quickly is just jump onto the channel. Forgot to share this. Share this to people. I should do that. All right. So I need to do that. My phone is dead. That makes sense. Otherwise, we've got a miss there, and I'm going to change the scores. We've got 37-49. Sydney's running it off the half back. It's going straight into the forward line. This could be an instant goal. These are turnaround goals. That was easy. That's too easy. I did not expect this. Not from McCartan. Yeah, interesting little. I mean, it's been not good enough from the Suns. Like, if we're honest, this is like verging on what the hell are you doing? You're not going to get anywhere doing this kind of footy. Like, playing completely in front when you're in defense is so stupid. Like, every single one of their players was in defense. It's ridiculous. Be right back. Apologies. I just realised I was muted. That's probably my best call in a while as well. That's unfortunate. So, it's out from the centre half back line upon the wing, the flank position. We've got Rafe Andrews there with a big tackle. Good to see Rafe is back on it here. Let's just do that. There we go. Let's just lock that positioning, bring it down a little, and there we go. Suns into the forward line. They've managed to find a player free. Oh. Ainsworth spills it over the line for another ball in the pocket. Hopefully we see a little bit of difference here. Like something good, would be a change. Nice little change. The Suns have managed to run it out of their own forward line. And now they're going back into an open player in the pocket. I think that's Ben Long. It is Ben Long. Do we? I know there's like next to no one here. If there is anyone here, I'm going to put a little poll in the. Let's just go in there. All right. I don't think I mind the Suns jumper anymore. Like, I mean, I never really minded the logo, but like from distance, I don't mind the jumper. What's I think you well said. Sydney's just too good. Just too good. So it is a throw in the pocket. Can they do something out of this? The Suns are trying to hold them up, but it's just a straight snap. How are they going to get a mark? It is a 2-on-1. McCartan does a good job to get it back over the line for a throw-in. Not bad. It's not a bad effort, but there's another bit of argy-bargy in the forward. This has been a reasonable match for the Barges. Seen a few of Argy's friends. It's been good. What's my ladder prediction? That will be coming out in a couple of days, mate. I've got a big, big video about it. I spent a long time simulating the season, like a lot of time. So that'll be coming in, I'd say, like 5 or so days, if my editor answers, because he still hasn't answered me since this morning, which is not a positive thing. But that's all right. These things happen. It'll be out right, like at least before the season's first match. That's for sure. But it's starting to get pushed a little bit further back than I'd like. Particularly now that I haven't heard from James for over 24 hours. But we should be filming a little bit of that tomorrow. to get the last bits as well. Oh, big shot from Closey. It's ended up as a throw-in from the pockets. Ainsworth is not happy with that. I'll give you an interesting one for my top 8. I already was going to go against what my data said. I don't think, and like particularly now the Bond's gone, I don't think the Dogs are making the 8 this year. The data would suggest otherwise. Like the numbers say the Dogs should be in the 8, but I'm probably very high in there, like probably top 4. But I just don't think it will happen. And injuries aren't looking great either. So yeah, we'll see. What a kick from Humphrey! Oh, he hit the post. God dang. Let's change these. What's the ticker? So now I'm a bit behind. There we go. So it's going to be a throw-in again. Out on the wing this time. McCartan comes off on the wing. Really might have been running towards the back line. When it seems like a success I didn't see coming. But I mean, if the Swans have found a full forward, good. Also, if they can lose Logan McDonald and not worry about it, they're going to be pretty happy about that. Tom Papley's injured. Yeah, a couple players gone from this one side, that's for sure. Interesting. Are they doing a head count? I don't know. Sounds like the umpires are making it up. They're throwing it in again. Come on. Get it done. It's a big launch. Straight to the ruckman. Laddams looks very different for one. He's also playing very well. It's interesting. I've always kind of rated him, but he's just never strung it together. And supposedly there's attitude issues. Those are the rumors. Right. Oh, big launch from the back. The Suns are into the forward 50, but they're not going to hold on to the footy. It's going to end up as a bounce right before the line, just outside 50. And the Suns can't hold on to it here. When they do, they get another throw up at least. Jepson's looking interesting. Let's look at some of his stats. Don't forget player stats. Oh, Sydney's out. Campbell's taking a massive shot. Jeez. Didn't quite get it, but dang, good shot. All right, so 58 to 39. Oops. Anderson goes out wide to the wing. It's a good mark. Powell kicks it central. They're out there. It's a 3-on-1. Long keeps his feet, just gets a ball out before getting tackled, but they get it off. Rafe gets it out to, it looks like Mitchell. Okay. And he gets it over the line to the opposite side of the boundary wing. Gonna be another throw in. Been thrown in. Got Laddams in the ruck here. He gets it out, but he gets it to nobody. It's over to the Suns. They get tackled quickly, and it's going to be a jump ball. So we've got another jump. It's like Sydney's going to get it out of there. Whether it actually gets to anybody is a different question. The ball bounces up on its nose. There was a free call. They've taken advantage, and can the Suns actually do what they want here? Oh, dangerous tackle. Very lucky. That was poor movement from the Suns, to be honest. Just a lot of balls went too low. Also, why is nobody passing it back to Powell? Powell goes inside to a 2-on-2, and Benking takes a big mark. No, good stuff. Good mark from Ben. He just needs to follow through here, and he can start getting goal close, a bit closer to challenging. Tonight's not been their match. That was a bad hit to Powell. That was a knee straight to the head. He will need a concussion test by the looks of things. Ben King is lining up. He's starting his walk in. Can he follow through? Top 10 in the best and fairest last year. He's got it onto the boot. He's just slid it to the right. He's gone through the skinny side for a point. It's now 5-10, 40 to 8-10, 58. We've got the Suns following by 3 goals straight. I think this can be a closer match from the Suns. They really haven't clicked at any point tonight. And if they can get it going at all, which they've intercepted here on the half-forward line, can they find somebody in? It's 2-on-none. Oh, and they've dropped the mark. They've got it back. Kick a goal, please. No, they turned it on. Oh, my Lord. All right, Sydney's managed to get it out. It's towards the boundary line. It's in dispute, but they've got it. Sydney, that is. Wraith ends up with it, trying to run it out of there. They've managed to get it back into the corridor, and they're performing the switch. They've got somebody free. They're out. They're out on the other side. It's going to be hard to catch them here. They've slowed it up. Corey Warner had a lot of opportunities there. The Suns have run back in numbers, and they're going to get this ball. Noble hand passes it back out to the far flank, and they go long down by the wing to a 2-on-2. Ben Long tries to take down Wraith and doesn't quite get it done. Sydney gets Kabani free on the half-forward flank. He's going to try somebody a little bit further on the angle, right at the 50 pocket. They found McCartan. Now, McCartan played well tonight, really well. Is he a proper forward? Maybe that's just been the wrong spot for him. That was a terrible pass by McCartan. He tries to spot it up in the hole, and nobody was there. It was just full of one Suns player. That was a silly decision. Suns have got it. They've chipped it back to Noble. Noble's sitting about 25 out, right in the guts. He goes down to the pocket. There doesn't seem to be anything presenting further up. It is static there. So they go along the boundary, and this might get intercepted. It is. It's over the line. It's going to be a throw-in. It's been a tough match here for the Suns. They're just not getting anything working. I truly believe that if they were to get something going, they might challenge the Swans here, but it's just not been their night. No connection of footy. Oh, and the throw-in's come back in. There's been a whistle, and it's holding the man. Over to the Suns. Suns on halfback flank on the commentary side. They're going to go long down the line. He's getting halfway to the half-forward flank. It's a 2-on-1, and Ben King gets a free. He's being held. He had his opposition had an arm over the shoulder. Call it what you will, but he's got this ball, and he's going to get it into the forward line. Depends where. I'm spot somebody up about 25 meters out. The hole ends up filling, and it just ends up with Sydney
They just hat-kicked it out to no one. Noble's standing there by himself, but can't get it done as Corey Werner, can't remember. He tries to intercept. Anderson gets the ball back, just drills it in forward. About 25 out. They get a snap, but it's not a snap for a goal. They get a point. We've got the Gold Coast Suns 5-11-41 to Sydney 8-6-58. It's not a bad match. The Suns are just scrapping. Like they're not really performing, but I mean they're not doing terribly. McInerney got it out at centre half back for the Swans. 6 minutes, 15 seconds in the third remaining. They're trying to switch to the other half back flank now. Swans are trying to find some space on the commentary side wing. They're going down the line to, honestly, a 2-on-3, and that was just terrible decision-making. It's been turned over. The Suns try to find somebody up the line. They play it too tight and don't hit their target well enough. It's over the line. It's a throw-in on the commentary side wing. It's been a good game. I mean, the Suns could have done much better, to be honest. Suns get it up forward. The packs just falls apart. That was like watching 10-pin bowling. What was that? All right, so it is the Suns free from that pack debacle. Nobody's getting the ball back to him. It's just people flooding back the defense. The Suns are struggled to get a goal here. They go in long into the pocket. That was honestly, that could have easily been a mark from I think Rampy. I'm not sure. It was a very quick, but he just double fists it. It's over the line. So throwing in the pocket for the Suns. I think a bad decision making. Oh, Suns have got it again. They're going to take another shot. Doesn't get anywhere. It misses everything, but it does bounce before the line, and it's going to be a throw-in. Well, looks like Swallow is off with ice on his knee. Not sure if that's just not something to worry about. Pretty early in the season to be icing a knee. After the throw-in, the Swans win the tap, but they get it out across the 50 to no one in particular. It's turned over to the Suns. The Suns get another opportunity. Snap goes nowhere. Noah Anderson kicks it out in the full. Sydney just chips it out into the pocket. They're about 25, 30 out into the far pocket. They're going down the line. Just made it to the wing now, but it's gone over the pack and ended up in a Suns player's hand. They're just not moving. They're not running. Who is that? He's just not running. Like that, Witz was waiting. Like when a ruckman's waiting for you to run, you're going too slow. You're just going too slow. There's no if and or buts about anything there. It's a throw in. It's ended up back in Sydney's hands. And they haven't done much with it. It's made it to the wing on the far side into the Suns' hands, and they're going to bomb it back into the half-forward flank on the far side. Again, it just ends up into contested nothingness. That might have been a tripping there. I think it was below the knees. It was, and it ends up in a free for Sydney at half-back flank on the far side. They're going to try and perform a switch here. There's only 4 minutes left. It might be just a clock play at this point. Yeah, there's not much happening here. All right, we are going to get to some stats. Let's pull up what we've got for this halftime situation. See if it is looking positive for the Suns or not. They've been pretty lackluster so far. What the heck is going on with KO? It's like it's trying to give me a seizure. Okay. Let's look at these stats. Let's go back to basics, disposals. Now, this used to be. Oh, okay, I was going to say. All right, that makes way more sense. I was going to say that used to be almost all Suns players, and then it was all Swans players, and now it's now that it's both, it makes more sense. Well, Suns have managed to break free for one of the first times this match. They're going to have a crack. Yeah. 3 minutes, spread it to the right. It's 5-12, 42 to 8-10, 58. Just not what you want. This sort of accuracy should revert to mean at some point. I mean, we saw it with Collingwood the other night. We saw it. I mean, we see it in most matches, right? Gold Coast will start kicking goals soon. They will. It's just, can they get one before the third quarter to kind of give them that morale boost, or is it going to be just no go? Holding each other in a jump ball in the close half forward flank. Ends up in Sydney's hands. They've bombed it out. Ends up, surprised that wasn't a throw. Ends up in the centre square in the corner at Sydney's side. It's managed to make it out back towards the wing where it was at originally. And they found someone central. No. Ooh. Stayed. It was called a stay out. Did not stay out. That's a 50. And yeah, we're going to see. That's rough. That's one thing I noticed. Yeah. That's an easy goal for Sydney. They got a 50 in case I didn't make it clear. All right, Sydney got a goal. So it is 9-6. 9-6. I got some of my numbers wrong. It is 9-10. 66. 64. To 5-12, 42. I've also got my number from there. That should actually be correct. Let's get this up and running again. Too many points. Too many points in the game. I need to put the system to get that points and goals done. But let's do this track mode again. Because I think that we're getting a little bit off in terms of space and wing and all that. It's getting cut off. Been another jump ball in the centre. I can't tell you what happened there. Camera was nowhere near what happened then. It's a free kick to the Swans in the centre. I don't know why Adams got that. Adams goes to the close wing, the commentary wing. They go back to Ray. There's about a minute and a half left. It looks like they're trying to play full time now. It is 42-64. Really needed a Gold Coast goal when they broke free about a minute or two ago. It's just not like this. These sort of scores are always going to make your life harder, but they've not really connected in a lot of regards. Like there's been many opportunities where the Suns have just bombed it instead of just passing it to the person right next to them and then providing a shepherd. Like there's been very little team play. And when you think of that versus what they did last week, it's just a bizarre sort of change. The Suns aren't playing badly, but they're just not. They're definitely not playing well. It is up on the. It is on the wing, on the commentary wing. It's oh. Oh, you can't blow the whistle like from a mark and then call play on. Like you just can't. The umpires have been pretty shocking. I'm going to be real. Like there's been a few moments where it's been like, what the hell are you doing? Like the throw in, they count the number and then do another throw in. I mean, I guess that is sort of like what you're meant to do, but it is a situation of what the heck is like, how have you screwed up the player count? For it to be correct, one, player count is correct. And then not know what to do next. Like they have to confirm that it was a throw in. Like they didn't. Yeah. It's been an odd match. The Suns haven't really played very well at any point. Sydney also hasn't played particularly well at any point. I don't think this is really one that you can learn a lot from, which is a bit of a shame. Being like one of the teams that played in the grand finals, and a team that I thought was on the up, particularly after last week's efforts. I don't know what to make of this. So, yeah, at this point, it's time to reassess the Suns. Maybe I really did think they were probably. I thought they were on path to their first top four, but now I wonder. So I don't know. Otherwise, I've got a little bit of time up our sleeves. I got a little bit of time to regroup. With it being the third quarter, we've got a little bit of a time ourselves. Now, is there anything you want to go over stats-wise from our sheets that we've done, if you've watched our past videos, or even a little heads up on our new video that is coming out? I do have a prediction coming out this week. I've simulated the AFL the whole season over 10,000 times. I've technically simulated each match 10,000 times for a total amount of simulations in the billions. I think it's 4.16 billion. And yeah, gives a fair bit of information. So I will do a little screen share, just show you a little bit of that. And then, we'll come back to that. We'll get the whole video next week, but we'll come back to that soon. So we'll also be doing lives through the year as well, every Friday. That's going to go over stats, help set up things that I've done. I've got a pretty in-depth model here. Couldn't quite get the model done for this one, unfortunately, but it does mean that you've just seen the basic model at the moment. Like what I'm trying to do is not even what I'm finishing. Like it's nowhere near what I'm trying to finish. So you will see this, which is essentially it's a ladder, right? You know what a ladder is. So if I press that and then enter and that and enter, you'll probably see those numbers change. Now let me just see if I can zoom in a little bit for you guys, because I know you don't have the best view there. Give me a sec. Whoa, that's too big. All right. So this ladder, right? I basically press delete, enter, delete, enter, delete, enter, delete, enter. That's because anytime I put any sort of new information in here, any sort of data, that sort of stuff, it reruns everything. And it brings back a new simulation on this table particularly. So this table just grabs one of the 10,000 season simulations and shows it to us. So that is essentially what's going on over here. Now, if I do that again, and again and again and again. You'll see some numbers change. There are some wild options. I think the first time I showed this, St Kilda was third, which realistically, that would be like one of the very, very few times that happened in my simulations. I can tell you that that hasn't happened a lot. If you look at the overall fixtures, they do similar stuff. So you can have a look here. Do a binom. So essentially do a, well, I got to flip my things, but do a binom inverse function. I look up the teams that I want. I do 10,000 like simulations of the attack versus a team's defense, and come back with random variable scores. And I do that again in here 10,000 times to make sure that we get enough variables to then get to this point where we've got random variables that update, all that sort of stuff upon the new 4 billion sims that happen every time I click that button. Now, I am not going to show you too much of that because I got a whole video coming for this sort of stuff. But yeah, it's getting there. It is a little bit interesting to see what I would suggest is like odd results out of this match, right? I expected this to be a fairly like free flowing sort of affair. I thought, yeah, both teams kind of struggle forward line wise. Gold Coast, in my opinion, has quite a good defense. Sydney probably not as good as Gold Coast's. And then, yeah, for me, I thought we'd be in for almost a shootout in some regards. Like, you know, first time these teams kind of get to play without too much worries. I thought the Suns would probably win it. Hasn't really gone the way I thought at all. Suns haven't had any sort of overlap connection. Sydney is probably where I thought they'd be score-wise at this point. Honestly, the Suns are probably about half of what I expected them to be. And look, you know, maybe if you revert their scoring to the mean, yeah, you're looking at what? About a 50-50 split, roughly. I mean, last year it was like 49%, 49.31% of shots were goals. So, yeah, I mean, maybe Gold Coast should be pretty much like 2-3 goals behind, but yeah, not great. It's not really the results you'd be expecting, or I was expecting. It has bounced again though, and Gold Coast has got it into the forward line. The Suns are just not making any sort of connection between their footy. It just, to be fair, Sydney's just bombing it like so much. The amount of times I've watched Sydney just bomb it out of the fence, and they haven't screwed it up via doing that, to be fair. So I wonder if they kind of fall into their trap of doing that this year. Wow, that's worked out for them. I can't believe that. McCartan, I can't believe he missed that. This game has been a comedy of errors. We had a thing last year called what was it? Footy shenanigans or something like that. That would be a shenanigan. That is what I would call a shenanigan. It is just like how the footy got passed from that sharp kind of kick from out of defense to how the shot just didn't get anywhere near the boot. Like it just at some point you got to wonder what the heck's going on. There we go. One player protects another. They're going to take an actual shot, and it's a goal. That's the first bit of overlap play I've seen the Suns do. Like a shepherd it's the first time I've seen him really shepherd. It's ridiculous. We're going to see it go back to the center. Can we see a second one of these? If we can see a second one of these, we might start seeing some better results. But yeah, Suns need to just click. Like they need to hit people above their knees. They need to aim for a meter in front, or if somebody's not running, aim to actually just hit them on the spot. Like they're just kind of not picking the right thing at the moment. But it works there. Whoa. Huge tackle on round. Damn. That was like a bloody WWE slam or something. It's straight up, straight down. And it's a free. There's a bit of argy-bargy here. The Suns, I'm liking this from the Suns. Like, if you're not going to play footy, I mean, I want to see you, just fighting each other. No, that's not at all what I'm saying. These Barrys are good. Does make me think, though. Could use a mate here. Someone like Baz. Oh, that was so close to really screwing up to the Suns. Jeez. Jepson with a good mark there on the far wing. He goes inside. He measures his kick perfectly. The Suns are going in forward. How is that not a mark? I'm pretty sure his feet hit the ground when he had two hands on it. Gold Coast is starting to do. Out the back, 2-on-1. It is King though, and he gets a free. 15 meters out, bit outside 45-degree angle. Has Gold Coast been trying to do something different? Like, was Longmire correct in saying that people try not to do their tactics? I felt like that was Fugazi, I felt like that was people just saying things, particularly Longmire trying not to look bad against a team that had maybe trained 3 times. Well, King got it. They needed that. They really needed that. That's good. Let's see what happens next. I think one more goal. This is game on. It's already game on at this point. So, yeah, I mean, Richmond, I see Damien Hardwick and I just think Richmond. Gold Coast has improved a lot. I've got them as their major issue being their forward line. As a general, I rated them from my combined off-season scores as 8th, which not bad. What really let them down was their forward line. I've got 51 stats that I consider important for. They're going back into their forward line. Oh, great crumb from the pack. Didn't quite get free out of it, but geez, that was good. So I had them rated as 8th in overall numbers with the forward line letting them down. I've got 51 stats I think are roughly Rogers roves it, gets a snap off, only gets a point. I'm going to change the banner as well because that's probably fairly off now, which it is. 54, 55. Yeah, I was going to say they haven't had that. So 7-13, 55 from the Suns to 9-11, 65 from Sydney. Sydney's brought it back in, but just turned it straight back over on the far 50 boundary. It's going to be a throw-in. Suns are doing well. They need one more goal, and this could easily turn into a flow-on effect. Let's get these numbers up on the screen, shall we? 7, 13, 9, 11. So it's on the far wing. It's going to be a throw-in. Bit over 15 minutes left. There's only 10 points in it. 7-13, 55 to 9-11, 65.
I think the Suns can come back, but it really comes down to just hit your targets a little bit. Like that is exactly what was wrong. They got the ruck hard ball get out of the ruck, but then immediately Witts hands it over straight away to Sheldrick. It's ended up eventually after a few kicks back in Sydney's centre half backline. They've gotten it out to Hayward in the guts. Hayward goes long to what the heck was that? Hayward went long to McCartan. McCartan went around the corner and has been marked by a player. I'm not sure who it is. Number 27 from Sydney. Somebody let me know. But yeah, Sydney has those moments where they connect, and Gold Coast just hasn't. Like maybe once or twice, but not enough to be competitive. McInerney has missed that pretty badly. It is 9-13. Oh, it is 9-13. 9-12. My apologies. 9-12-66 to the Suns. 7-13-55. The Suns have done pretty well getting this back to their flank on the commentary side. Oh, I'm not sure how many smothers Sydney's done today, but it's got to be a few. 14 minutes left, final quarter. Rioli tried to get it over the top, but it was smothered by the next player. He's looked good in his first outing for the Suns. It's one of the few, semi-positives. To be honest, not many others to be real though. After the efforts last week, it just has not been repeated. Rowell is looking in great shape, to be fair. Absolute great shape. Butterick goes long into the forward line. Reed. Oh! Ainsworth gets the shot and gets the goal. How nobody tackled Reed then, that is beyond me. I don't. They're gassing up Ethan Reed pretty heavily on the old King. He definitely wasn't bad there, but like that just locked out. Like just nobody tackled him. Okay, yeah, very very lucky, but less than a goal. The Suns could do this. They could come back. It'd be good to see competitive Suns this year. So I do hope that this wasn't just a flash in the pan last week, and we actually get some good results. We're about to have a bounce in the center. Hey. High. Bad high. You're not great from Amadi. The Suns have got it. They're gonna go in. Go in and deep. Oh, King fly didn't mark. It's ended up on the ground. It's come back out, but it's been intercepted. The Suns are taking a crack, and they've got it. Oh, they've missed. That was so close. They've finally found something, which is probably dangerous to Sydney. Suns have not manned up out of defense. Corey Warner has bombed it down the wing to a 2-on-1, but both the Suns players have collected each other, and it has gone out the back. They've managed to retain it. Rioli's gotten out to a player really short on the boundary. Closey's gotten it further inside, and it looks like Unwin is looking for something down the line. Is there anything on the switch? Not something he's looking for. He's going to go down the line.
big pack. It drops down to the front and ends up with a good crumb, but it goes straight out on the full. Humphries has looked pretty reasonable tonight. I'll give him that. There's been a few moments where I've basically sat there going, all right, well, nobody's doing anything, and boom, Humphries just runs straight through, gets the ball, gives it a shot. It's good to watch. Good to watch. Ends up in Noble's hands, out the back. He gets tackled. It is a free. It's a dangerous tackle. He's up in another bar. Been a good night for the Barges. Oh, they're throwing. They're not throwing punches. They're throwing people, though. That was interesting. You generally don't throw people. You generally throw punches. For those of you that don't know. Noble goes in and to no one. Patton's done all right tonight. It's a bit of a shame as a Saints fan. Nothing to note, but Sydney's defense has done all right. So, I mean, that's kind of what you want. Rowbottom's got it on the far commentary of the far flank. It's been interrupted on the wing, though. Jeffrey tries to get it in. Gets smothered again. Jeez. It's been a lot of smothers from the Swans tonight. It's tackled. Oh, Jesus. Is that not a dangerous tackle? This is, oh, it's out. Sydney's out. What was that? That was just a shocking kick. Oh, Ewan's got it. He goes for somebody on the far 50 flank. It's a terrible kick. Yeah, the umps have been less than perfect. But that's Hoodie. Elco's managed to get it out. Oof. How did they actually get? No. It's a high tackle. But yeah, they don't do anything with it. Their disposal's not been great. All right. Suns find a bit of free space, far forward flank. They're going into the pocket. Just terrible, decision making. It's these are problems you unfortunately can't train out of people. They either realize they're making bad decisions or not. You can to a degree, but if you're consistently doing the same thing, you're just not going to win. Gold Coast were on fire for all of 3 minutes. But it's kind of going back to where it was at. I've also got the stats wrong. Also note that the Suns are slightly starting to return to the mean, but it is ever so slightly. Good tackle. On the far wing, it's ended up in Robert's hands. He just bombed it into nothing, but it's worked out. I've said that a few times tonight. Maybe bombing and nothing is the right decision here and there, but I mean, they're definitely, The Suns should just start bombing it. Like, honest to God, they're not hitting targets ever. I was like, the Suns have not hit any targets at all tonight. Like, it's been incredibly bad. The Carton tried to play on. I mean, what is this game? Just snap it, McCartan. Like, you don't need to walk back, bro. This has been such a weird game. Like, no team's played well. Like, absolutely no one. Part of me thinks neither of these teams would make the finals. Like, if this was, real season matches. Like, just the Suns haven't played well all match, and they're 10 points down. Sydney's played not terribly all match, and they're only 10 points up. Neither of these teams look very good, to be honest to me. All right, then the last 8 minutes, we've got to bounce. It's up, it's down. We've got Wits tackled from a ruck hard ball get, which once upon a time was a free, but it's ended up turned over anyway. Then he's just bombed it in. Counter Marty. Oh, Marty just cleaned him up. He was not aiming for a mark at all. Yeah, this is an interesting one. I'll be interested to see how this goes. Like next time they meet in the season. When are they meeting? I should also change this. Yeah, well. So that's it. And maybe like the Suns just aren't clicking at all, right? So I mean, yeah, this is getting towards being done. All right, I'm gonna grab a drink. I'll be 1 sec. I won't be long. And we're back. Sorry, it followed me outside again. Music. There we go. Yeah, the Suns just aren't hitting the mark at all. They're not doing well. It's been a shocking game. Sydney's not really been particularly great either. I mean, I know they're not trying particularly hard, but neither side has filled me with particular confidence going into this season. When there's so many teams to like, this isn't great. Like, it doesn't look like the Sydney of last year. Just doesn't. Suns are meant to have clicked by now. Like, they should have clicked years ago. And, like, I get it. Like, they've never really had direction, anything, really. But this isn't good enough after, like, the performance of last week. Yeah, I thought they really started turning a corner, but and look, maybe I'd be saying a different thing if it was 8-14, but look at this, it's just another free. Like, how do you? Like, yeah. Sydney's taking another crack. We'll get rid of that B right back. I am back, aren't I? Is it a go? It's a go! Um, so, yeah, like, Sydney's. So yeah, that's the score, mate. I swear I saw it. Jababa. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, we're bounce ball. 4 and a bit minutes left. Suns finally get one out of the center. Bailey Humphries dumps it wide, just marks it inside. Well, not marks, just bounces inside the line. Getting some tennis terminology in there. So now the throw in about halfway through 2 goals from the 50. Witts gets the hit out, but doesn't get anywhere. I'm trying to get it out of there. It's really done nothing. Will Green kicks it out, but Noble's got it and bombed it straight back in. Tried to hit Reed, but Ethan Reed's dropped it. It's ended up straight back outside 50. It's turned over again. The Suns get another opportunity and turn it over. Oh. This is just like constant turnovers. Like, at what point do you not not do that? Yeah. And like, I understand both competitions are reasonable. Like, neither side's bad. But this is bad football. Like, it's bad decision making. Like that kick from Noble along the wing to a 2-on-2 pack and nothing. Best result is it gets out of the line, and it does. So it's another throw in for the Suns. It's just bad decision making. Like, it's and like, yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here, right? I'm not out there, but yeah, there's structures you're meant to be passing towards. You should be able to use your eyes a fair bit, like you're not always under ridiculous amounts of time pressure. At some points, yeah, you do. Oh, man. This is just going backwards and forwards. The Suns are getting another entry via Closey. Can Closey actually hit someone? He goes for Reedy. Reedy doesn't get it. It ends up over the line. Jeez. It's been tough, this game, to be honest. There's been a lot of turnover footy. Not good overlap passes. Not many marks to a lead. Like, not many marks on lead. It's been slow. Very slow. But thankfully, I've been joined by Barry. Yeah. What is going on? So Woods tried to go for the overlap handball for a long shot, but he wasn't allowed. So he's got to take the kick himself. Jeez, he can barely make 45 meters. This is probably Woods' last year by the looks of that. So we're getting told there's a third Warner now. Ooh. Nearly got some magic going, but nothing major there, unfortunately. All right, let's do a bit of prepare for this one. I'm going to respond to James as well. All right. What's that? Oh, I missed something. Lovely. We're going to do a little bit of like fade cams. If anybody wants to, they are welcome to. So, jump in. What's going on there? Seems a little fast.
All right. Yeah, that was a bad match, if I'm honest. Yeah, there's a few injuries. There was a few ideas, which was kind of alright. But honestly, kind of boring. I'm gonna chuck the fan cam thing out the link to join. As long as you have a camera and I can hear you, feel free to join. All right. If you want to come and have a chat before I close up in about another 10 or so minutes, feel free to join. There is a link in the chat, and anything you want, go over some of the stats, that sort of stuff. Speaking of, let's have a look, see what we got for stats for tonight. Noah Anderson had 35 disposals, Matt Rao with 31, Joel Jeffries with 28. Matt Robinson led the way for Sydney, Roberts, rather. John Noble got 26. James Jordan got 26. Daniel Rioli, with his first hit out, got 24. As a general, it looks like it's mostly dominated by Suns players at the top. Sheldrick also got 22 disposals tonight, so that's a fair option if you are looking at those Supercoach things. Fantasy sports, he does look like a good option. Other good options, Saints wise, I'd suggest if you want left field for, like, I've already got too many Saints players, so it's a bit frustrating. He is looking like an interesting option, but Isaac Keeler is one to keep an eye on. This is his second match played in the preseason. Saints aren't going to be playing Schoenmaker, and it looks like he might be out of favour in terms of generals. So I'd keep an eye on Isaac Keeler for tomorrow's stream. Feel free to hit the like, subscribe, all that sort of jazz, and that will essentially, get us positive results, all that sort of thing. But it's also that, it'll keep you up to date till tomorrow. If you hit subscribe, you can join for the Saints match, in which we will be versing Port at home, or at RSEA. I also think that, we've basically got a little bit of time up our sleeve to chat about things. So I could get this thing up and going again. Double check things are ready to go. That might have died. It did die. Okay. But we will fix it. What I will do is I'll share this briefly. Share screen. And end of year assessments over here. So if you have any questions about your team, feel free to pop in, ask some questions about the end of year assessments, and we can go over it all. I'm going to be here for about another 10 or so minutes, 10, 15 minutes. See how we go. But basically, I've got a little bit of work to do. I've got to finish off this prediction, which is coming along well. I've got so much data, it's ridiculous. And I've nearly narrowed down exactly what I think will happen. But we are kind of basically towards the end of it. Let's see if we can do. Will that look better? No, that doesn't look particularly better. Does that look particularly? What about this? Let's do that. So, could do this. Let's just. There we go. Just said that. All right, cool.
That didn't work. Okay. This thing's hard. All right, that'll do. That looks a little better. Yeah, we can go through some of these stats as a general. There's a fair bit that. Oops. Jesus Christ, I forgot this is a Mac. Sorry. What am I doing? Let's go for one example. Yeah, so we've got like a few, like all the teams set up. We've got graphs, we've got all that sort of jazz here. If you want to look at setting up a team, doing that sort of stuff, you can. I've got 2025, 2020s, 2024. I think there's more in this version, yeah, which is helpful. So I don't have to set it up, which is always nice. We've got a bunch of teams that we were doing. Nearly finished all of the top 8. We just couldn't kind of get it done in time. It's a bit frustrating, but that's life, man. We'll figure it out so that we can do it better this offseason. So yeah, can go through some stats, all that sort of jazz. I will basically just leave this out as for now, and we'll go back into there. Yeah, if you want to come say hello, come say hello. Otherwise, yeah, it's been an interesting match. Probably not what I expected in a lot of regards. It was good to see. Sydney obviously weren't playing all their best players, and they came out looking somewhat okay. In what I assume will still be a somewhat strong Gold Coast Suns, but that's obviously remains to be seen. Otherwise, good match. I really did like it. I think the only major issue was just the lack of the Suns being able to hit their targets. Like if they could have done that, this could have been a lot more free flowing. I mean, that was the only issue. A lot of contested football. A few clangers, that sort of stuff. It's early in the year though, so we'll get that. We'll see how it all goes. Otherwise, I'm probably going to do another 10, 15 minutes, something like that. Yeah, if you have any questions, there should be a link in chat. Feel free to go in and hit it, say hello. If you want to chat about anything at all, feel free. Otherwise, we're kind of just going through the chats with Hardwick at the moment. Post-match, it's whatever. It's not been the best results. There was a lot of injuries tonight. I hope they're not too long-term. Gordon didn't look great. Gordon could be a long-term injury. I would also suggest, in terms of... Okay. In terms of youngsters, I liked Wraith Andrews. Looked great. Wraith Andrews looked great. Might get some game time. Likewise, I would suggest what was his name? Sheldrick. Sheldrick looks quite good. He's probably going to get some game time. There's a few players that not bad there. Not bad at all. Not the best game, but otherwise, it's still preseason. We've got a lot of the year to go. So I'm gonna probably start looking over some stats, see if there's anything that really jumps out to me. I mean that's no surprise. Inside 50 efficiency from the Suns was shocking. 41.3%. Let's share this tab. 41.3% to 54.3. It's just not really great. I'm surprised that they're that high. And honestly, I do have a bit of an issue with disposal efficiency. I think it's a bit of a nothing stat, but that it does surprise me a little bit. Other than that, free kicks, whatever. Hit outs, Yeah, interesting. I didn't feel like the Suns really won much with their hitouts. Might be one of the ones where we have to go into the advanced stats, and specifically the Suns. So I might have to go to my stats. Oh, I haven't set that up on this computer. That's frustrating. All right. Hitouts to advantage, win percentage, win rates, rock contests, stoppage clearances, center clearances, and clearances. Let's just get all that stuff in there. All right. Oh, okay, it's too early. We're not going to get any of these for another couple of hours. We've basically got nothing coming out in the advanced stats yet. In terms of basics, if we look at this, got 41.3% disposal efficiency inside 50 to 54.3. The one that interested me in terms of standout stats was hitouts. Didn't feel like they particularly won clearances and center clearances at all. So yeah, when you see those sort of numbers, wonders what you're really doing. Like, is it positionally wrong? Is the rock doing the wrong thing? Are they just getting beaten by speed or strength? What's really going wrong there? Otherwise, there's not a ton of stats that stand out. Marks, obviously, but that comes down to, honestly, just shocking disposal, which I'll explain another time, but disposal efficiency is a useless stat. Yeah, nothing particularly stand out here. Tackles inside 50 actually kind of is. But otherwise, nothing major. 1%ers isn't great, but also, wow, imagine those sort of numbers. Yeah, 1%ers, nothing was really great. Sydney, I don't know, standout numbers particularly. But again, we don't have access to advanced stats yet. So for now, base assessments would say they didn't quite do enough. The Suns, in a lot of regards, and Sydney kind of were meh. Yeah, I don't feel like we've learnt anything from this match. It's hard to learn things from preseason matches, but yeah, I don't think this one's one to take notes of, particularly. Maybe a few young players, maybe a few positionally things, but overall, probably not one you study a ton of film unless there was something that particularly stood out as a coach, right? So yeah, I don't know. For me, it's a lot of the Suns just didn't hit their targets. Sydney's ball movement wasn't great, and then that's kind of the story. That's Suns didn't do anything. Sydney didn't do much. Honestly, not the best. Not the best. Look, I'm going to call it, unless somebody were to jump in pretty much bang on right now and say hello. This will be the end of it tonight. Did over 3 hours. We got actually the right aspect ratio and whatnot this time, which is a positive. That hasn't always been the case. Likewise with our mic situation. So I'm glad to see that this is getting along. But yeah, look, thank you so much. Unless somebody jumps in right now to the stream, I'm going to end it. Come back, say hello for St Kilda tomorrow. Pretty animated. I don't think it's going to be easy to hold it in. I think tonight wasn't too bad, but tomorrow might be a little bit different. So come say hello. Either celebrate with me or commiserate with me, and enjoy the rest of your night. Cheers.